Okay, so polymorphism, we know poly means multiple, and then morphism. So morph means you can consider like an how it looks like or something. So polymorphism, uh, that basically means multiple forms. So polymorphism is an ability in OOP, of course, to use a common interface for multiple forms, multiple data types. Now, what's the example? Example, let's say we are defining a function, define talk A, and it will be printing A dot talk about you. So if we call this method at talk, then mom, then it is basically executing mom on dot talk about you. So if the mom's name is Annie, then it will be printing, hi mom, my name is Annie, I am 28 years old and I am a doctor, let's say. So this is being printed. Now if we provided the dad, this function is basically same, right? In the same function, if we provide dad, now we basically call the dad on dot talk about you. So within the dad talk about you, it was written, my name is Asif, I am 30 years old, I am engineer. And similarly, if you call the daughter, so it will basically printing the daughter's characteristics. So the thing here, a same function, but it has different forms based on its use case. Although we discussed this thing in inheritance in some aspects, so method overriding. Overriding means something we already have, let's say. Anyway, the main thing here, method overriding means, let's see an example. So let's say the daughter class has the new talk about you function and new cooking function. So previously we noticed that mom has talk about you function, dad has talk about you function, mom has cooking function. So initially daughter inherited those functions from its superclass. Now what happened if we write again another function? So that is we are calling overriding. That means we are not using its inherited class. Now, if you notice the the method resolution order, if you notice methods defined here. So this cooking, talk about you, these are already defined here. Here means within this daughter class. So that's why from dad, this talk about you is not being inherited. You will not find this talk about you here. Similarly, from mom, there is nothing inherited from mom. So previously we inherited the cooking from mom, but now since it is already defined within daughter class, so that's why in the method resolution order that is being replaced by itself, since we already defined another talk about you function, which is my name is name, I am 8 years old and I like to play all day. So now if you call like daughter on dot talk about you, it will print I like to play all day. But in previous cases, when this thing was not defined, when we mentioned only pass here, then what happened? We basically printed like my name is Inaya, I am 2 years old, and I am some profession. I am kid, let's say. So previously it printed I am kid. If you look back in a couple of pages above. So the main thing here, we are calling this method overriding. Overriding means we already have the method, it was inherited, but we again mentioned the same method in a different way, in a different value here. So that's why we are overriding the existing methods that was inherited. So that is the method overriding. Now this is also an example of polymorphism. Now how? So you can see like say the same function. So when we call from daughter one, this is different. So if you call the same function from mom, that will be different. I mean for mom it will print like I am doctor. Previously the mom was doctor. And for dad, if you call the same function, it will print I am engineer. So that's why this is the example of method overriding. So that's all for object-oriented programming. There are a few references here. If you were to, like to dig more here, you can go to these references. Also, the supplementary video. This particular video is already given on box. If I mention the question, so you do not need to understand any Python programs. All you need to write in terms of normal text, normal English, like what is object oriented programming and what are the benefits of it. So we discussed, more or less everything here. So there are 7 questions. So you can just practice these 7 questions. But please note that you need to use your own example while answering question, like encapsulation. So you can provide any examples, whatever you want. If you notice, in almost every questions, it has like explain with relevant examples, proper examples. So all these questions you need to answer within examples, and you do not need to write any program. Okay, so no need to write Python program. Okay, that is completely not required. So you do not need to understand this Python program. What you need to understand the concept of OOP. So I'm saying that introduction to object-oriented programming, that means how this object-oriented programming works, what do we mean by it, and specifically the 4 pillars of object-oriented programming: encapsulation, and then we had abstraction, then inheritance, and lastly we discussed polymorphism. So these are the properties that we discussed, and related to this, actually we have these questions like abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance. MRO means the method resolution order we just discussed. And different types of inheritance means multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance. These are the different types. So you can practice these questions, and again I am saying that you need not need to know Python program. That is completely fine.